Peace, love, and hotep. Canaanland Moors, November 5th. I want to say Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Islam to all the active Moors that continue to do the work that has to be done so that we can do our best to end this whatever our people are going through, right? You see this Moor right here? Don't play with this Moor right here. Serious stuff that we're dealing with. Still Moorish Americans. That's our own jurisdiction. Nobody else could say that they're Moorish Americans. Nobody. They can call themselves Moor whatever they want. But if you want to be Moorish American and you say out your mouth about Moorish American and that's your nationality and you don't worry about the ish and all that like people want to talk about and you stand behind your prophet, this man's not a joke, huh? Because what the conscious community doesn't want to accept the reality that they don't want to accept. This is everybody who calls themselves something except Moors. That's dark skin in North America and the Caribbean that, you know, want to play like somebody respects their position, right? If everything's laid out, Noble Jolly told them more study. Study, study. Because if I told you everything, you go back to sleep. And I'll tell you some things that turn your brain to water. So we have to take him serious. We say we rep him. He's the Moor. Everybody say, yeah, let's make a movie about the Moors. It should be about Noble Drew Ali. Forget anything else. Forget whatever idea you came up about. Yeah, oh yeah, make this thing with, and have the guys riding the horses and all that stuff. Make a movie about the Prophet. Do that. And let's rep him. Right? We're just trying to ease off on, you know, all this murder and whatever of so-called black, Negro, color, African people who came here on a slave ship people that's been going on for the past 400 years. Longer than that. But as far as, the European taking a turn in their ass because, they want to play games. So what they have to realize, they call themselves community, okay? And Moors deal with law. Moors deal with law. There's no such thing as white man's law, European law, Caucasian law, Albion law, cracker law, whatever you want to call that individual that, is the enemy. That individual has no law. He never created law. There's no documented facts to say that he's the first at law. Right? So don't tell me nothing about there's a white man's dictionary. That's stupid talk. That's incompetent talk. Below incompetent. Right? So it's community. I always see flyers that do a community event and community this and community initiative for the whatever and community or whatever. Nobody never looked up community, see what that is. Guys going around here just, begging for fiat, which is money, to go build something, to keep telling people that they're black, Negro, colored, or whatever. And you expect international people to respect that position when they know that you're Moors and they know that over here is Egypt and they know that there were communities of individuals in this jurisdiction called North America, which includes Canada and the so-called islands. That there were communities of those people here that were the Aboriginal indigenous people. So Black's Law, page 350, community. Neighborhood, vicinity, synonymous with locality. People who reside in a locality in more or less proximity. A society or body of people living in the same place under the same laws and regulations who have common rights, privileges, or interests. That's what a community is. Anything else about? I don't care what you have to say about community because I have a book right here called Black's Law Dictionary. Then there's editions of it from 1 to whatever they got now, 10, 11 or whatever. Right? And that's what it says community is. But we'll go to the other white man dictionary, since he made all the stuff in the world, right? He's the enemy or whatever. He's a cracker. He came from the caves of Europe, but he brought law and he brought English and he brought all this stuff, right? And you think people respect you idiots about your nation of Islam and all this crap? Farrakhan done took checks from these people. You guys are stupid, following stupid people instead of standing up for your so-called Allah. So-called Allah, arm leg, arm head, but you're not doing nothing but following some crazy people. Who, by the way, remember, had their little whatever can't get in the country, and then they went and proclaimed their Moorish nationality, to get back in the country. So, community again. And then, as you see, this is not, the little flimsy dictionary, right? That you're gonna see them selling in Kohl's and whatever, soft cover, what I mean, when you go look stuff up in that. Right? That's not dictionary. Community. A social group of any size whose members reside in a specific locality, share government, and have a common cultural and historical heritage. A social group sharing common characteristics or interests and perceived or perceiving itself as distinct in some respect from the larger society within which it exists. And we'll just stop there because no need to even go further. Because that's why he has to get his honors and his respect and his props, just like you want to big up all these sellouts, you know what I mean? Buy their books and all that. Same amount of respect that you give everybody else, you have to now start giving to Noble Drawley. You have no choice because Wrath is on just last week. Just last week. You know what I mean? Mom, pretty much my whole family that I know, right, on this side, like my immediate family, went on a trip. They come back and places flooding right now. Why do you think they got away? All people who still enjoying their little, vacation or whatever, getting flooded out right now. Why? Because the wrath of Allah is on. You play around like, but you don't follow the Prophet? Okay, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. And and how serious it is. My sister, she's, Muslim, right? And all she could say for, since whenever she found out about it, because she's what told me, Alhamdulillah, and that's, oh, praise Allah, thank you Allah, oh my gosh, oh, honors to Allah and all this, you know. So when he came and he dropped the fact that you're not Negro black colored, not only that you're not Negro black colored, but you have a history and a heritage where you stand right now, as far as North America is concerned, and the islands, and Canada, so called, right? Where you stand, you've been here, chilling, and they called you Moroccans. But over here, though, not kingdom where people like to point over there when Moors say Morocco. Like we're talking about some kingdom with some French protectorate, pale Arabs. We're not talking about that Morocco when we say Morocco. We're talking about, like Casablanca, right? We're talking about these Moroccans, these kind of ones, these Moroccans here. We're not talking about the pale people that all these black guys like to tell you we're talking about when we say Moroccan. We mean people who look like this. Just so we're clear, right? Just so we're clear. Westerners who visited Morocco have likely encountered Nawa musicians, Gnawa, in the coastal Atlantic town of Essaouira, there where an annual festival of Nawa music takes place, and in Marrakesh at its spectacular central square called Jama El Fina. The colorful gowns and caps of Nawa musicians covered with cowrie shells, coupled with distinct sound of their instruments, metallic castanets, heavy drums, and three-string bass lute, provide both visual and audio confirmation of the Nawa presence. Some of the best-known genres of music to all Moroccans come from the classical Andalusian legacy and reflect Morocco's historic relationship with Spain. Now, keep in mind, for you so-called people who say that you study and you know stuff, but you don't have a nationality. And you tell me about some history stuff when you don't have a nationality. You can't have a nationality and tell me about history and whatever. Shut up because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. All these guys, all the crew, Polite, Seti, Hebrew Israelites, just name the group and whatever they claim their nation of whatever. But they don't honor the prophet, right? They know that they're Moors. Don't think they don't know that they're Moors. Polite knows he's a Moor. We'll make up some stuff and tell people come follow that. Away from dark stuff. Who said that they're Moors? When you hear these people say Spain, they're not talking about Moors. They're talking about Aragon and Castile, Ferdinand and Isabella, the Inquisitionists that brought their little community together to form a bigger community in order to kick the Moors out of, as they say, Morocco. Spain is from 1492. Don't let people tell you about 711 Spain and the Moors. That's not scholarship, that's stupidity. Because everybody in the world who studies knows that Spain is what they said right here. Andalusia, Andalus, Al-Andalus, whatever you want to call it, pre-Spain. Pre-Spain. So as soon as they go on their lecture and they say, oh yeah, the Moors, you know, the only history that they have is the Moors in Spain. That's not a scholar, that's a dummy. Because there's no such thing as Spain and the Moors. But then when you go look up Al-Andalusia, you know, and then you find all this history of Al-Andalusian legacy or whatever of the Moroccans who play music, you realize that people don't know what the hell they're talking about. These are the Moroccans what we're talking about. This is a painting. These are the Moroccans. Does this look like a pale Arab to you? Does this look like a pale Arab? Do they look like pale Arabs? Do they? So don't tell me any crap about you know whatever, I know myself and whatever. You're calling yourself black. Even everything is done right now. Forget what you say. Because you don't have a nationality. So don't talk. And all your leaders, they got nationality. They're not telling you that they got nationality. And you're still sitting there without nationality. Like an idiot, following these clowns. Profiteering off your suffering. Your children dying, getting shot up in stairwells and stuff like that. Because some guy in the next building that they've been building prisons for put him in because he wants to be black guy. And you don't get this yet? Don't worry. Dominicans and Haiti's flooding right now. Huh? I think it's a joke. Not all blacks in Morocco were slaves. Oh, just so you don't get too hyped. Because I know you guys like to, you know, bring up stuff because we don't mention it. Right? Noble Drew Ali said this is a divine and national thing. So all these guys who like to just talk national and don't talk no divine stuff because, oh yeah, that's the white man's religion and all that, they can go stuff something. Because you can't have national without the divine. So all these nationalists and whatever like that, and they talk of nationalist stuff, where's your divine stuff? You tell me that's some European? Well, I thought he came from the cave. How you tell me the guy from the cave founded a religion? How you tell me the guy from the cave wrote some books and has knowledge of self? What are you talking about? Which one is it? Is he the caveman or is he the one that, you know, the Moors stole everything from? He can't be both. Which one is he? The so-called white man, the enemy. Which one is he? Is he the caveman that had nothing, came in a cave, had a tail and all that stuff, all you guys like talk about, yeah, kiss my feet and stuff like that because you're a cracker, right? Is he that guy? Or is he the guy that is the pale Arab that the Moors stole everything from? Because he can't be both. He can't be the founder of civilization but came out of a cave. Please stop the nonsense with your people. And remember, like we said last week, we're on this side. We already got birthright. We're getting taxes off, whatever. Not paying debts, use a stamp, pay for stuff. Have our own tags. You don't need to go be paying these guys every month, every month, every month, every year, paying these guys to have some place to go renew some license and identity or whatever. But all they got, all y'all playing that game, conscious community. You're so conscious, but you have a license from the same enemy that you're gonna go get a grant from the enemy to go start an organization to help your people not be abused by the enemy. Doesn't that mean the enemy just funded your stuff? Do you want to know why we go at y'all so hard? Want to get mad? Want to not call Cujo to come talk to the youth anymore? But when I was a black guy, oh, you guys had money to fucking throw at me for me to come talk to you. Now that we're dealing with Moors and nationality, birthrights, ain't nobody calling. I have people in Milwaukee calling me to come do stuff out there. The Cincinnati come do stuff out there. The Indiana come do stuff out there. And these clowns in the jurisdiction, they're gonna play around like, you know, we're not doing something out here that's changing things. They think that because they go to the court now and the prosecutor isn't in the court, she's outside the court, that's some process that some European made up because efficiency of people in the court and whatever. That's because of the Moors going in there. That's why stuff's changing. That's not because of some cave dweller that has a law department of his government and you have employees that are, you guys are so lost you don't even know that you're lost, but you're conscious though. You know yourself though, right? You know yourself though. Don't listen. They're shooting people in the street, choking them to death while people videotape it. A youth man shot up in a stairwell out here. Shot up in a stairwell. And his boys are like, yeah, he went down like the man. Yeah, you know. And then there's higher youth who, they're doing papers for high school on natural person versus corporate person. Youths, 16, 17, whatever, younger than that. So this does work. This is real. This will change the frequency that's out there, but only if you got faith in it. We could only talk about what we do, because Moors don't just flap the gums, kill crackers, but never shot a European before, right? We talk about what we do. We'll back it up with receipt, whatever, just to show you, we're doing this. What are you talking about? You don't want to get down with nationality. Are you complaining about taxes? Are you complaining that you voted for that guy, but he's going in the fund of the whatever that's supposed to be for the black community, but he's going in that, stealing money, going to Cancun, sex trip with his whatever, come back, it's in the news, and he doesn't get nothing, slap on the wrist, and he still has the job, or he just switched a job to another job, and then the black guy is still just, no marching, picketing, and then Moors are out here beating tickets. And yeah, you know what I mean? You're going to have to lose some casualties in the war. That's, not even on a level of collateral damage. But you're going to sacrifice for the big win. Now, it's throwing the towel because we're down by 20. Who does that? Right? And you know we're down right now as, so-called nation, community of African people came over here, can't get anything. But all these other people are coming here getting stuff and you don't realize because they have a nationality. You don't realize. This is all you conscious people. You know what I mean? Islam to all the Moors. You know what I mean? Putting up more. There's Moors out there, even on food stamps. There's Moors out there that's getting food stamps. That's going and getting taxes off. Islam to that more, right? And to hell with all you Moors. When he's getting food stamps, Moors shouldn't get food stamps. Moors shouldn't be paying tickets either. Moors shouldn't be not waking up their people. More shouldn't be playing like this is some kind of, well, we could only, and then we'll give you a little bit when you're ready, elevate to the next level. This is people's birthright that they have, that they've been supposed to have, that all these so-called black leaders, all these organizations, just go look at all their stuff and they're practically telling you, they're practically telling these people, you guys are idiots, just like BT. Just like BT. What do you mean show conscious stuff on BT? These guys are stupid. They don't want to watch no conscious stuff. They want to see asses and stuff like that. That same thing that the so-called all the black leaders, the crew, right, is doing with their people. And the people don't get it. They want to keep following these idiots in these little groups. They don't want to realize that they have a vast estate. They don't even have to claim. It's been claimed. All you have to do is declare who you are. You want to do that. Argue with Moors like you got some credentials or something without a nationality. You argue with Moors, like you maybe argue with dirty Moors. You maybe argue with passive, super passive. You know what I mean? 5 on the right, 2 on the left Moors, but you're not getting by with no active Moors. Not all blacks in Morocco were slaves that originated from black West Africa. Some blacks were actually native to southern Morocco. Some sources suggest that groups of black people were indigenous of the Draa Valley, Draa Valley. Right? These are Moroccans that we're talking about when we say Moroccans as Moors. Don't show me some pale Arab. That's not what we're talking about. And if you think that that's what we're talking about, you're stupid, just like the guy who's telling you that the Moors took the fez from some pale Arabs. Pale Arabs. These guys. And you guys are chasing these clowns, going to their debates and stuff like that. You're going to their whack stuff. No nationality up there talking crap. Zenaga, right? Zenaga, Zenaga, Zenaga. The Nagas were the serpent people. Serpent people are the ones who have all the intelligence. Out of all of them, who were the most intelligent? The people said the Moors, because they took all the other cultures that were before them and lumped it all into one culture and said, okay, yeah, now let's go around the world and do with this what we're supposed to do. All the stuff that people want to claim is, their, nation. They're going back to that. That they can't show me any ID for, but they're going back to some nation, ancient nation of whatever. Okay, well, all that stuff the Moors took and civilized the world. So what are you talking about all these other nations for? Why don't you just say Moors? It's the same information as the ancient stuff. It's not separate. The Moors aren't separate from the ancient people. It's the same people. It's the same information. It's just in the hands of the Moors because just like we came from ancient whatever to and then to something else, and then to something else, and then to something else, and then we say today we're Kushites. Okay, well the next level was that the Kushites went into the whoever, the Egyptians or the Kemetans or whatever, and then that went into the Moors. Then the Hebrews, and then he traced them out, and then, you know, instead of stopping, keep going. Oh yeah, and then that goes into the Moors, because you know the Moors were they were it. Like European, say Moors to a European, and we watch them cringe or, you know what I mean, look in the other direction or whatever. Just because it said Moors. And then someone will be like, say that again. You just said that? No, you just said say that again. Moors. Oh my god, you said Moors. Got one. Follow me. And then they take you down into the, you know, whatever, and they show you this big library that they've been had, you know what I'm saying? You can come take anything that you want, any day that you want, you know what I'm saying? You don't worry about bringing nothing back. It's all right, you know, because know that you're a Moor, not Negro, black, colored, slave. I came over here on a fake slave ship that nobody could show me yet. One of those. Zanaga, a Berber tribe of southern Morocco. Berber. Keep that in mind. Remember, they say the Berbers were the pale Arabs, Moors, who gave their name to Senegal. Oh, so Senegalese are Moroccans. Makes sense. That's why Deuce Muhammad Ali, who Marcus Garvey knew, right, is Sudanese. And when you look at the jurisdiction of the Moors, because like we said, the Moors is not just fezzes. The Moors is also turbans. So anytime you see a turban or hear a turban, whatever, that's Moors. That's not some pale Arabs. Right? These are the Moors that we're talking about when we say Moors. Everybody knows somebody who looks like this brother right here. Some feature, whether it's the eyes or the nose or the lips or the mustache, whatever, everybody knows somebody who has one of these features in the Americas. Why? Because it's all the same people. In modern time, they're Moors, and that's all they're ever going to be because it's already been set in order, right? It's already been set in order that they're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. You're Moors, and your political jurisdiction of North America and the islands, which is North America, and Canada, which is North America, is your vast estate. You can claim it if you want to. If you don't worry. The European's going to claim it. And the little bit that he could use when he claims it, he's going to use it to put you guys in all those coffins that you see them parading around on, you know, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, you know, people videotaping coffins and stuff. And, you know, all these Europeans are relinquishing their U.S. citizenship, getting the hell out of here because they see what's coming. And all the so-called, you know, other nations, they're just coming here for a chill spot because, you know, democracy is trying to take over where they're at, and you know they're not trying to be, you know, that. I mean, they want to eat McDonald's and stuff like that, right? Everybody's getting gobbled up by this beast. No, but good thing, Moorish Americans, prophet brought you your savior. This is a divine and national movement. So anything that goes on in the physical, it's okay. Because we have a higher plane to go to. Right, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Meteor could come right now, and it's all gravy. because we're divine and national. I self-law a master, arm, leg, arm, head. People play around, they know their self, and I know myself. What's your nationality? I'm an ancient Sumerian of the whatever. Right? Seti. Hey, Seti. The- right, this is a portrait of a Turk. This was for Seti. This is a portrait of a Turk. Okay, Seti? Everybody knows somebody who looks like this brother right here. Whether it's the eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, the lips, the mustache, the beard. You know what I'm saying? The way the facial structure is. Know somebody who looks like this brother in North America. Oh yeah, don't forget the ears. Right? And then turban up. But this is the Turks that Seti's trying to tell you that Moors stole from. Doesn't it look like the same people? Right? Why would I steal from my brother for? For what? When he'll give it to me anyways. Because we're brothers. Let these people play you guys. Let them play you guys. Right? All the conscious community people. Books out already. You know what I mean? You go to Khalifa Media. Go to Amazon. Get the book that I wrote for you guys. Right? To all the Pan-Africanists, black nationalists, Rastafarians, Garveyites, Nation Islam, whoever you say that you are. 2008 put that out for y'all. Go on it though. Still out here playing around, getting taxed to death, got mortgages, can't even live, but the Moors, those are funny hat guys, Masons and whatever. You guys are done for. Step up. Step up. Known amongst themselves as the the hidden ocean or people of the longhouse. And then just go research longhouses. The Iroquois League dominated all its neighbors, drawing strength from its unity. From earliest times, the unity of the Iroquois was symbolized by a wampum belt fashioned in a pattern that has become known as Hiawatha's belt. Oh, do you guys know somebody by the name of Booker T. Coleman? And then he changed his name to Kaba Hiawatha Kamin. Oh yeah, Hiawatha's Iroquois. Oh, and then every time I call him, he tells me Islam. You know what I'm talking about? More is black on trying to help some guy sell some DVD documentary. You know what I mean? Since he's a scholar, you know what I mean? Help a brother out. But Hiawatha's Iroquois. That's Moors. That's Aboriginal indigenous people of the Americas. So don't be fooled because you see something. I'm telling you, when I call Kaba Hiawatha Kamin and he answers the phone, he says Islam to me. He doesn't high and black stuff and black power or whatever like that. Because he's Hiawatha. That's Iroquois. Hiawatha's belt was composed of 5 figures. In the center was what some have described as a heart. To others, it was the great or sacred tree under which the Iroquois met in council. On either side of the central device were 2 differently sized squares. The squares were connected to each other and to the central device by a narrow band. So you got the right. So Noble Drawley fashioned the jurisdiction of the Moorish movement in the form of the Iroquois because he's Cherokee. That's the same family. So in the middle you have Ali, and then you have El Day and El Bay. And then you have in the middle again the cedar tree, pine tree, everlasting, whatever, evergreen tree, same tree that's on the Continental Congress flag inside the white canton that they don't want to show, they don't want to bring that flag up or whatever, because it proves that the Continental Congress was Moors, Aboriginal indigenous Moors. Forget what some, because remember, he's the cracker. Remember, he's the cracker, right? So if the white man said that the Continental Congress was some Europeans, then we shouldn't believe him. Because, we're not going to believe him with the community definition in the Black's Law Dictionary, because this is the white man stuff. So we're not going to believe this. So if it's against the Moors, believe it. If it's not against the Moors, don't believe it. That's the game that these people play, right? You're only playing yourself. You're not playing Moors. You're only playing yourself, right? Okay? You tell me all these guys stole their fezzes from pale Arabs? All these guys stole their feathers from pale Arabs. When we showed everybody, this is the continent of Africa where the so-called black guys, African whatever they call themselves, Kemetic whatever guys call themselves, they got ancient kingdoms in Mali and they got ancient kingdoms in all these places. And then the modern day people there, they got fezzes on. And you tell me some Turks gave them this? All these fezzes right here? And these aren't the ones in the Congo, whatever, with the guns on their brother and, oh yeah, the Moors, look what the Moors doing to their brother. They have to stop playing around with these guys and let's get real. Let's be Moors because that's what we are all over the planet, all over the world, especially that continent that you say you came from in slavery and whatever. That's the place that you came from in slavery or whatever. And they got fezzes over there. Why are you dissing Moors? When they got fezzes where you say that you come from, and turbans, and they say Allah. So all these guys been told. Doc came out, told him, he put the Ankh on there, which is Kemetic, right? He put the Star of David on there, right, which is for the Hebrew guys, right? He got the crescent and star on there for the Islam, right? And what did he call it? Moors. See right there? Moors. So Nuwapians shouldn't be playing around with people and talking about they're not Moors. Because Malachi York himself said that you're a Nuwapian nation of the world. And that you're Yamasee, which is Aboriginal indigenous. You didn't come over here on no slave ship and all that. But point of the matter is, you're Moors, which means you have a nationality. You're supposed to honor the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, just like he did, put his picture in and stuff and all that, you know what I mean? But they don't want to honor, but they're going to talk about, free Dr. York, get him out and all that stuff, but you don't honor him. You don't honor him. Where's your nationality card saying that you're Moors? You told me about Nuwapians and playing around, that you're not Moors. When Malachi York himself said that you're Moors, this is you guys' stuff. How come your stuff says Moors, but you're dissing Moors? And you don't want to come to the temple and all this type of stuff. Now, you can't go to the temple because, the law stuff. But we don't deal with that as Nuwapians. We deal with, the holy tablets and whatever else. But you're Moors. Where's your nationality card? Where's your nationality card at? Because Malachi York said that you're Moors. You guys are in the conscious community. You know you're in the conscious community. Don't pretend like you're not part of it because, those guys are the scum of the earth and they don't know their self. Forget them. We're not included with them. Oh, yeah, everybody's up in this boat right here that's sinking. We're trying to get y'all on the life raft so we can go sail to the, shore right over there. But you want to stay on this sinking ship, giving it power, keeping it staying from sinking, instead of let's get the hell out of here and let this thing sink. The crew, right? Now, you tell people, not because they say we are Federal Express means that they're government because they say federal. So just because some guys say nation doesn't mean that they're a nation. Okay? Just because they say nation doesn't mean that's what they are. And these guys have to stop playing around with people because, just tell the people. We adopted Scientology because Scientology is more science, and we didn't want to admit to the people that we've been known about Noble Drew Ali, and we had foresight of us going back to Scientology or bringing Scientology into the Nation of Islam, right? And have all these people confused, don't know what the hell to do now because, well, you've been our leader, we've been following you for so long, but, according to what we said as Scientology, we're not supposed to be dealing with that. And now you're bringing that in, and bringing in all this other stuff. But then, well, how come we don't study the Supreme stuff no more? That was laid down by the, and then they can't stand up for themselves. They can't I self law and master, arm leg, arm head, and say, hold on a second. I was doing the research or whatever, and it said Elijah Muhammad's name was Elijah Poole Bay before Elijah Muhammad. And he was a member of the Moorish Science Temple with Noble Drew Ali. And he was an adept in that. He wasn't just card carrying member, he was an adept in that. But then Noble Drew Ali died suddenly. Then suddenly, out of Detroit, same place where he was in the temple, Nation of Islam pops up. But as Temple of Islam, before Nation of Islam. And then the only other thing called temple back then was Moorish Science Temple. And putting this stuff together, that these people are playing you for 80 years, that you're Moor, you have a nationality, you have a prophet. Oh yeah, and Fard, who's supposed to be Allah in man or whatever, he was a member. So your Allah was a member of the Moorish Science Temple. Had nationality card said that he's Moorish American. And you're going to listen and do everything that Allah does and says to do, except proclaiming your nationality? Really? You guys not holding this guy like, yo! NOI? And don't get it twisted. There's NOI, just like Kabahaya Wafa. When they see me, they don't know, Assalamu alaikum. Islam. Like, what more? I haven't seen you in a long time, bro. Y'all still doing your meetings there? Still going there. They talk about nationality yet? No, they're not going there. You know what I mean? This NOI that I talk to, I don't know about all these other crazy people out here that call themselves NOI. NOI, who I know, they know about Noble Drew Ali. They know about the history that Elijah Muhammad was a member, not even just a member, that he was an adept. And he got lessons, and then in the early years of the Nation of Islam, they used to talk about Noble Drew Ali, bring him up, they might show his picture once in a while, you know what I mean? And then, in Savior's Day, every NOI who I know that talks to Moors and builds with Moors is approaching the Moors on, like, is it official now? Because, we had the picture, you know what I mean? Looking for the validation from Moors that, okay, you think that was Farrakhan's choice to do that? That was NOI who know Moors, who know that Scientology is Moorish science, and got on it and recognized the relation between Scientology, Ron L. Hubbard, and Noble Drew Ali. That's how deep it is, NOI. That even people in your own stuff know that you're so dumbfounded that they can't even tell their own people in NOI about nationality because they're going to bark down their throat. And they're in it with them. Go to the same class and all that. And they can't even bring up nationality to them. Right? Same thing Noble Drew Ali said. When you're going to be a handful saved, you don't worry about all these people right here. Get those ones who got light bulbs going off like they don't even know what to do with themselves and they're in some other group. Bring them in ASAP. Give them a quick, hit them up quick, bam, 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 set them back. Right? And they're the new spook. They're not really spooky because, everybody, they're going to immediately become an outcast in their own stuff that they've been in for 40 years. Immediately they become an outcast as soon as they start talking about nationality. Immediately. And then they have no choice but to say, you know what? Get those guys trying to proclaim nationality. And the whole crew, the whole conscious community crew, right? The whole crew, all of them. Right? Proving the point, right? That you become an outcast. Look what happened to Malik Zulu Shabazz after he came out and said that he's a Moor. After he came out and said that he's a Moor. Not only that he's a Moor, that we're all Moors. Let's go check the archive out of his own mouth. Right? What do you think Africa is? Africa's the green star on the red. You understand what's going on? The Black Panther is indigenous to Africa and Asia. So that means the Black Panther is Asiatic. Not black Asiatic, Asiatic. And African synonymous with more. 5-point star, everything on it. Khalid came out, told them that they're Moors, you know. Not one of those guys, except the ones, you know what I mean, who became the outcasts, recognize what's up. Like, hold on a second. Okay, so we have this, organization that has somebody that we identify as general, which means he's the highest ranking officer, right? No different than Supreme Grand Chief or, right? He came out and said that he's a Moor, and then died from some crap. And all these people who were at his funeral or whatever, all these people weeping and moaning and, honor to him, black power and all this stuff. But he said that he's immortal. He's not Negro, black, colored. He knew that. If he's saying that he's a Moor, he knew that he's not Negro, black, colored. Right? And when he said that he's a Moor, no different. Remember, same thing that Doc did, you know what I mean? Got the Islam in it, got the Hebrew stuff in it, got the Kemetic, got the Kemetic in it, right? Tying everything together, letting people know, right? What's Khalid doing? Tying everything together. Because who did he go get verification from? When he said, I'm a Moor, And I got sense enough to know that I'm a Moor. And then he, went on, Noble Drew Ali, said his name. Then he went on and talked about it or whatever, you know what I mean? And then he started talking about the world being Asia and that we're Asiatics. And then what did he do? He called out the nation of gods and earth, who are also in the presence there, so they know that he said that he's a Moor as well, if they were at the lecture or whatever. He called them out. And then they verified on the record, they verified what he was saying was right and exact. Based on their lessons, because remember, he referenced their lesson to back up what he was saying. And then, got everything in it. Got the 7 for the Moors, right? The 7 for the Moors. Okay. I had the 7 for the Moors. Don't forget. 1913, a 7 with a circle. 1913. Okay. A 7 with a circle. It's just, you know what I mean? And then there's the crescent star again, put it in. And then the 5-point star again, put it in. Okay? Right? Moors. Oh, can't forget, all the people who say, yeah, honors, hip hop legacy of the founding fathers of the hip hop stuff and all that. Oh, well, how come he's here Fezon and he has the same Noble Drew Ali? Seti, how come you're not calling Africa Bambaataa a Mason? He has the pose just like Noble Drew Ali. You know when you guys said Noble Drew Ali is a Mason because he did the pose like that? How come you guys never came out your mouth and talk crap about Africa Bambaataa? Oh, you listen to his stuff and all. Oh, so if you listen to his stuff, then how come you're not Moors? This is Zulu Kemetic Moors. So, oh, you guys do the pick and choose slander, who you want to slander sometimes and then sometimes. Oh, well, you won't talk crap about Africa Bambaataa though, that he's a Mason and all that. How come? How come you don't have him on the slideshow? Oh, because he's in the crowd, so he can stand up and do something if you talk crap. How come you're not going to talk about, oh, he's wearing the Turk stuff? How come? All you more haters. How come all you more haters that listen to hip hop honor Africa Bambaataa? Who's a more? He's Africa Bambaataa Bay. Go ask him. He'll tell you. Oh yeah, and then when you got the hip hop proclamation crap from the city, told everybody you're Moors. Don't worry about all the other stuff that he added on to make people feel included in the, celebration of the hip hop getting recognized with some proclamation. He said that everybody's Moors. But you won't say he got his stuff from the Turks though. How come? Well, not just him. Don't forget. Don't forget. Don't forget. DJ. He's Heru L. You know what I mean? Don't forget the whole crew. We're not just talking about. Don't forget Sabir Bey. He's a Bey. But you won't say that he stole stuff from the Turks though. Pick and choose haters. Pick and choose stuff. You guys pick and choose all you want. Moors are back. You guys' time is over. As you get down with this, shut the hell up because you don't have a nationality. I don't want to hear nothing about anything that you're going to do for your nation of black guys. Get out of here. The only flag you guys have is road spray. Get out of here. How come when I'm walking around with this right? These guys want to talk about pale Arabs, right? How come when I'm walking around with this patch on a jacket, sweater, t-shirt, whatever, right? This so-called flag, right? Every Afghani person is coming asking me if I'm Afghani. How come? How come? Why do you want to know if I'm Afghani when I'm wearing that? These people playing around. Yemen Jews, all you Hebrew guys, all you Hebrew guys, like the Yemen Jews. These are the Yemen Jews right here. Hold on a second. How come the Yemen Jews wearing Arab stuff? Wait a minute. Why is the Yemen Jews wearing Arab stuff? How come the Yemen Jews are wearing Arab stuff? Maybe you have stuff backwards. Maybe the pale Arabs are the ones who stole stuff. Maybe the pale Arabs are the ones who were in slavery, and when they got back in power, they did everything to make sure that the Moors is looked at from the perspective like Negro, black, colored, African, whoever, black community people, conscious community people say that they are, look at the Moorish movement, warped and distorted because they don't study. They don't know anything about themselves. And when Moors try to tell them, they're going to say that a so-called caveman is who we got our stuff from. Right? All the guys. All the guys. I mean, all the guys. You know, they got the seven though. Don't forget. They got the seven candle stand holder. So you gotta have the seven in there. You know. And then ask yourself this question: how come when you research candlesticks, Moorish candlesticks always comes up? Not, you know, Kemetic candlesticks and candle holders and Moorish stuff. You might see some Egyptian, but you know, the Egyptians were the ones who saw that the Moors are qualified and made them the custodians of everything that came out of Egypt, Kemet, whatever they want to call it. And the Moors took that honorably and civilized the world, brought the world out of the Dark Ages. So they gotta have the seven up in there. Remember, and then remember that that you know, so-called star that they have, that they rep so hard. You know, just remember the Yemen Jews, so they rep the star too. But the Yemen Jews dressing like Arabs, but they're dark skinned though. And these guys don't say that they stole stuff from some Arab, pale Arab. More science. You're gonna look up sigillium, Sigullum, sigillum, sigillum Dei, Dei, sigillum Dei, Dei but Dei, but it's pronounced Bay. Just like Bay, Bay, it's pronounced Bay like Bey. And then most bays are bays because, you know, there's water somewhere close by. And the bays were the ones that had the ships that used to sail back and forth and dock at the bay. So the bay, then the bay. because the navigators or the Moors, the long ships proves it, and then all these different movies prove it. But they're not gonna go with that history. They're gonna go with some they came over here on a slave ship that they can't even find or prove or show anybody to validate that position that they came over here from somewhere else. Not even attempt to. They're gonna go with a ship that they never even seen, brought them over here. And we're telling you about people who had their own ships that look like us coming back and forth from so-called where you come from to over here before anything called slavery, but you're not going to connect yourself with those people. You're so convinced that somebody brought you over here. Sigillium Dei, seal of God, symbol of the living God, called by John D. the Sigillium Dei Amit, was a late Middle Ages, Middle Ages, that's during the time of the Moors, civilizing all these Europeans, and then them coming out with some, yeah, we're the Knights Templar of the whatever, we're the Knights of the Round Table, and you know what I mean, we are fighting the victory for. You guys got taught by some people. You trying to pretend like you're somebody. You're nobody. Jacking more stuff because they don't want it. Jacking more science because they don't want it. Just go research the stuff because you're not read nothing. We have some questions that we want to get to. Not read anything. Go study. Sigillum Dei. Why is there a same star, 5 point star, whether it's interwoven, solid, who cares? 5 point star. That has to do with Moors. Simple. Anytime you see it, don't throw away your stuff. And then we're also going to go read an article by Dwayne Champagne, Dwayne Dune, Champagne, Champagne, called Colonialism Lives in the UN Rights Declaration. For all the UN peace troops that like to want to go to the international court and we're gonna go to international court to show these guys because they're practicing color of law in our own land, and like somebody hearing that when they're allies. And we just happen to find out about Prophet now, 2014, and they're kind of caught in a rough spot because they never told us. Black, whoever never told us. African, whatever never told us. Kemetic, whoever never told us. NY never told us. They never told us. But all of them were members of the stuff. And they never told anybody. They just started a new organization. Say, yeah, I brought a new organization for you, and it was going to help you get out of the mental stuff that you whatever, whatever. When they were adepts in the temple and they got taught by Noble Drew Ali and never told anybody. They started something different. Now all these clowns today following something that the foundation of it is more science, but they don't have nationality. They don't know what nationality is. They don't have law dictionaries. They got all these books at their house and they don't got no dictionary, much less law dictionaries. There are all these bookstores all over the place selling, oh yeah, back to your culture or whatever, and they don't have any dictionaries that deal with law or metaphysics or etymology or anything at all. And you say that you study something? And then everybody who puts this stuff out knows that, the Europeans were taught by the Moors. And then that's why there's masonry and longhouses in the Americas and, all these, connections. Then people are going to try to convince those who are unconscious of their birthright that, you don't want to get on a birthright. Moors get arrested. And, you know, Moors took stuff from the Turks, and if you can't take the Turks because whatever. And You guys keep listening to these people, and you will get it. Um, question: has to basically deal with getting whatever these corporate people have as a more, right? Whether it's a license, passport, etc. Right? Been it's been out there, you've been told, and people don't pay attention because they think that this is some advanced stuff or whatever. Right? When you realize I'm not Negro, black, colored, what am I? Noble Drew Ali, I'm Moorish American, I'm a Moor. When you realize that, at that point you're more, right? Consciously, not just because you have a paper that says it or a card that says it, because in your mind you know that that's what you are, right? The next step after that, obviously, is what about all this other stuff that I have in this other name? Now that I have this new name, what am I gonna do? Because I gotta mesh everything into the right. Put it out there. We told people we gear our um, studies with specific individuals that deal with specific perspectives of the Moorish movement, right? Not just grabbing straws, because from its inception, Canaanland Moors was under strict guidance of Allah, the Prophet, acting competent, civic minded, constitutional, metaphysical, occult Moors. And that's what we came up under. We don't know anything else about anything else. That's all we know. That's where we're at. That's what we're sticking to because it works. So, one of the master teachers for Canaanland Moors is Grand Chief Nature El Bey. If you never heard of him, write his name down, go on YouTube, go research, and he'll come up. Don't worry about what they say about him. He talks for himself, and he has stuff out there talking for himself, letting you know what's up. Just put Nature El Bey in whatever search stuff. He has a book that he put out. Nothing. This is how simple it is. Called How to Live Within Contracts. Okay? This is a concept. It's not his info. He's the scholar of whatever and he put out this info about. This is a concept, how to live within contracts. Because everything that we have done before we came into knowledge that we're not Negro, black, colored was done through contracting or through signing documents. When you learn how to live within contracts, doesn't matter if you have passport, license, whatever, because you know how to live within that venue. So don't don't have the perspective of I'm a Moor. How do I mesh the you're a Moor? Next thing, how do we live within contracts? Why? Because we've been under occupation for 400 years in the Americas. We've been under occupation here. We've been under subjugation and denationalization for generations in this jurisdiction. And because we've been and are under occupation, the undertone of being occupied is through contracts, through treaties, through acts, ordinances, statutes. Once we wrap our mind around, those things aren't law. So because they're not law, you have to deal with them according to what it is. Because the convolution is crazy. Like, it's chaos. But it's only chaos if you're not looking at it with a Moorish perspective. And the Moorish perspective, I don't care what anybody told you. This is how it goes. When you say, I'm a Moor, in your mind, and you know that you're not Negro, black, colored, after that is you better know how to live within contracts, because these people are going to do everything in their power to get you to contract again to be that name that you're claiming you're not anymore. They're going to do everything in their power. Send you stuff with red writing on it, send you stuff all caps, and then maybe small letters, or maybe last name first name last, just to get you to open some envelope or whatever. They might even use that name that you claim that you are now. And then you open the stuff, and then it's some corporate thing. Now you're contracted because you opened it. Right? And now you have to reply or respond, because if you don't, then that's acquiescence, and then you're responsible. That's why study. Oh yeah, I understand. You know what I mean? Games on and stuff like that, but trust me, where we're at right now, where we're at right now, you better know how to live within contracts. As a standard, learn how to live within contracts. And then after you learn how to live within contracts, then you would know how to deal with the passport, the license, the social whatever, the food stamps, the welfare, the credit card for 80,000 that they want to give you. But because I'm a Moor, I can't take it, because, right? Um, Books to read. Again, how to live within contracts. You know what I mean? Make sure you get Holy Quran. Make sure you get 101 questionnaire. Make sure you get what any and everything that you can off rvbaypublications.com as far as a book is concerned. Everything. Don't leave anything out. Everything that's on there that you can print out. If it's a PDF, print it out, bind it. If it's a whatever, print it out, bind it. If it's a book, buy it. If it's a, audio, download it to something. Don't skip around on that site there. Because that site is serious. That site will have you lost for years. Just that one site. On credible information, not just, some guy just said, yeah, I'll put this out. Like, we're talking about stuff that you might not even be able to find in the public library or wherever you go to do research. You probably might not even find some of that info, right? Everything, print it out, bind it. Don't just save nothing on no computer. Get a hard copy. Have a hard copy. There is downloading videos to your whatever. Oh yeah, just download this. Oh yeah, YouTube convert this. You better back that up on a hard disk or something. Because you don't even know what's going on right now. Dark ages all over again because everybody had their stuff on the computer. Just a switch, guy just oops. unplug the thing, and everything just plug back into it, everything's gone, wipe clean, right? So back up all your stuff. And personally, like you said, we're biased, so I don't dibble dabble and stuff like that and stuff. You know what I mean? RVBaypublication.com, we're like really serious. Immediately, you wanna, you know what I mean? Get down to what nationality and birthrights is and how it's relative to you historically, civically, you know, RV Bay Publications. You won't get any convolution. Everything straight to the point, backed up. You can go check, research, and find some stuff on there. That are things that like, oh, you found this. It's like, holy, hold on a second. How come all these black conscious community whoever didn't put me onto this right here, right? Sometimes just a word, one word that you look up and you see, that's what that means. I would have never knew that if I didn't go to rvbaypublications.com. It's that real, right? So, same thing. Um, Now, what resources do I seek to establish financial stability in light of the fact that the U.S. corporation has been dissolved and its inevitable fall is near? It's not fall is near. This fell since 33. People's blind faith is keeping this alive in nothing. That's all. A majority of them are Negro black colored people. That's why as Moors we have obligation. If we know, go tell somebody. Because they might not want it, but if they're going to be able to, as far as foreigners are concerned, if they're going to be able to steal the Moors' birthright, because Negro black colored people got eliminated or got put in prison, you know what I mean? We got what 80% population in prison right now is our people. They'll come in and take whatever's left. They're beginning to do that already. Right? This is not overnight success. We're talking about 400 years of subjugation, denationalization, right? Colonization. Okay? On top of that, 100 years of having a prophet who said, follow him or the worst is yet to come. And, the worst has come. On top of the 400-year stuff. And we're not recognizing, all his, like they were saying on Islam to Moorish Heritage and History School too, as far as information is concerned, putting out the right stuff. They're saying on even on there, what I mean, last night. It's not you just get this. You're supposed to be mastering yourself. You're not supposed to move until you master yourself. You're not supposed to say, hey, I'm gonna write this writ to these guys because whatever, until you mastered self. I self-law master. And when you move before you master yourself, you think you got this, by round 3 you're tired and you don't know why. And you got 12 more rounds to go or whatever. You'll quickly see why you're supposed to master yourself. Because they do go for, they go for jugular when they go at Mars. So you better have some defense up or whatever. They go for jugular. So don't be, it's like one of these bank of whatever people were saying, right, to young people. Um, if you can't get a job right now, work for free. if you can't get a job, if you went to school, you paid 80,000 to go to school, you came out of school, you can't get a job. Work for free, right? I.e., apprenticeship or something like that. Because in doing that, you get experience that you will still be able to compete with the people who are going to be coming out next, talking about they want jobs, since you can't find nothing, right? So with Moors, resources, Noble Ali told the Moors, when the European goes back home, mountains of gold will be revealed to the Moors. The Europeans not going nowhere because, Moors aren't telling their people about their birthright. And then Negro, Black, who know that they're Moors, they're not telling people about their birthrights. So nobody knows about their birthrights except everybody else who's coming over here raping this land that's not theirs. And the Moors who are active, they're doing what they could do. Get some taxes off here, get some taxes off there, no license, whatever, so those fees get cut out. Um, no plate thing, so those, that little fiat going to that gets cut out. I mean, when you really look at it, the only thing that's really stopping us financially from having anything is taxes. And that's the thing that Moors beat up the most. And tickets. So, if we know that, why don't we, instead of trying to get resources, how about exercise their birthright? And, I mean, blind faith, right? But like we said, there's some places where Moors go and they say that they're Moors and they eat for free. They get complimentary on the house meal. Not one time, a few times. Exercising birthrights. Be Moors. And mountains of gold will be revealed to you if you just be Moors. Just be Moors. And everything will people just be giving you stuff. You don't have to spend nothing. For real. But that comes with not looking at this from some, trying to get out of something perspective. Well, yeah, I'm a Moor and I'm trying to get out of the fraud of the whatever, and these guys over here, they got, and starting to get panicky and stuff like that. Everything goes the same. You know what I mean? Just the difference now is that you're studying, you're finding out stuff, and it's real intriguing. You know, like maybe I should ask. But don't ask. You're not a master of something. You just got a little stimulation and you think that you're Hulk smash stuff. There's no Hulk going on. You break your hand if you go punch something out here talking about 1 inch punch. You're not no master, right? So breaks, like super breaks, you know what I mean? Child ran out in the street breaks, right? And let's not try to home run on the first swing. We got guys mad pitchers still. Easy. Let me get there. If we don't get the pitch, then we walk. That, you're not losing. You know what I mean? You're not losing. And then again, once you learn how to live within contracts, you don't worry about how do I deal with the bank? How do I get, I want to learn to live within contracts. Because that's really what everything is based on. That these so-called foreigners that are claiming to be whatever call law. All it is contracts that we don't, it's not registering that it's contracts. We think that acts ordinances are something that they created in order to That's a contract. And that contract has nothing to do with us because that was created for them in their quote unquote community. Because community is the government or whatever, and that's what they're doing, exercising that. But if you're not part of that, you have your own stuff. Noble Drew Ali brought you since 1913. That, yo, just proclaim that you're Moors, be, you know, heir to this vast estate. You don't want that? You want to try to get a 3 Gs so you can go over there, go see some pyramids or whatever. Claim that you went back home. People over there treat you like crap. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna call it. You know what I mean? Because you're back home in the motherland. You know what I mean? But people treat you like crap over there because they know that you ain't from there. What are you doing over here coming to see pyramids in Mexico that you never seen? Pyramids in Peru that you never seen. But you want to go $3,000, go on some plane, go see some pyramids that are modern, or they're not even ancient. Talk about you know yourself, and come back here and you know, yeah, you know what I mean. We got culture all over the world. That ain't nothing new. Everybody knows the Moors, dark skinned people run everywhere. You know? So if that didn't get answered, all those questions there, send an email again, and then actually I have your number, so we'll build soon. This is not no race. You don't get the race stuff out of your mind. We're not not competing. We're just coming into the fact that we've been lied to, called ourselves something that we're not for so long, getting abused and wondering how come only we're the ones that get abused and nobody does anything. Nobody puts their hand up and say, you know what, man, you guys need to stop doing that to those people over there, man. Nobody in the world, and our position in an unconscious state is, oh, they don't like us because, we're black people and they know that we founded everything or whatever and they don't want to respect us. Do you respect yourself, though? Do you know that you're Moors or are you playing around? Right? Now, right, this brother, this is why, what I mean, we do what we do. This is a perfect example of why we do what we do. I'm, name on the record. Because, like I was telling somebody, only when Moors send stuff, we put their name out there. If you don't send something in a name that's foreign, we're not, it's just a question being asked. You know what I mean? So don't take it personal, but your question. So, right? Um, so currently filing UCC1 form, and I ran across your video, right? This is why we do what we do, because there's there's people waking up, right? There's people waking up. Don't forget, we're in the time right now. Man has the picture, you know what I mean, and water is the knowledge, right? And you know what I mean, everybody's flooding right now, okay? And the brother was just about to file the UCC one. We're gonna go to YouTube, Taj Tariq Bey, Dangers of the UCC, and you're gonna watch that. It's maybe about 6 parts or something, because that was when we first got on the information, and then we first got our, YouTube page, and we had to put up 15-minute videos, right? So there's 15-minute videos or something like that, right? Taj Tariq Bey, Dangers of the UCC, right? If you don't get it after that, why the UCC is dangerous, then send an email and we'll go further. But that should clear you up ASAP. Anybody else out there thinking about filing UCC1 or whatever to be free? Now, nobody's dissing filing UCC or whatever, but it comes back to the same thing. You have to be a master if you say that you're a Moor before you do something, right? Perfect example, Brother Obashango L, right? He did the UCC stuff. He filed the UCC one and all that stuff, right? Because he studied it for himself. He didn't watch some YouTube stuff or whatever. He studied it himself. He said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna put my time, however long it was, into studying this thing so I could understand this. Not because some guy said that it worked for him to do whatever. And then he studied it, he applied it, and he's dealing with certain things that not every more is dealing with, that's progressive through the UCC one filing, right? I wouldn't say go do that filing if you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're listening to some guy or somebody told you whatever. And I know for sure because I know it's at least a 2 years that he put in serious study of that to know what it is, what it's for, how to use it before doing it, right? And he's on Facebook. But again, you know what I mean? Toriano Obashango L. We're not telling nobody because he'll tell you. You know what I mean? Don't do this if you're listen to me or whatever. You know what I mean? This is not what this is. This is not, buy your freedom filing this thing when Noble Ali told you that you're Moors and you're Aboriginal and Indigenous, which means that your rights are inalienable and you don't have to contract them. You just exercise them. You don't have to pay no fee to go be a Moor. Because remember, I didn't say some straw man. I didn't say some straw man named filed the UCC. I said a Moor filed the UCC one. A Moor filed the UCC one. Not some African black comedic conscious community guy who watched some video and saw this process called UCC one and said, hey, I have a birth certificate. It's in all capital letters. I'm going to go file this. No, a Moor filed the UCC. Just so it's in perspective. So people don't go out there, oh yeah, Kudo said we can do UCCs. Yeah, let's go. Because whatever you get, that's for you to get. Because I'll do UCCs. That's why we put up the video, dangers of the UCC. And, you know, some people hate it. You know what I mean? Oh, you're trying to stop me from accessing the bond and all this type of stuff. I'm just saying, dangers of the UCC. We're biased. Tosh Prube is master teacher. You know what I mean? We study everything he drops, verify it. We're going with it. You don't need to hear nothing else, hear anybody else's perspective or whatever. That's it right there because it's verified. 5 different, 8 different, whatever sources. All right. So just go watch that. Dangers of the UCC, Taj Tariq Bay. There might even be some other stuff too um, on there as well. Right. And then next question to Phoebe Ray Bay. Um, United Nations Declaration Rights of Indigenous People, right? I'm gonna say it again. Just go read Dwayne Champagne, right? And remember, just like we say every week, ain't nobody checking questions before. Like, question email locks off at 8 o'clock. When class starts, that's when I open the stuff and check. So all these are live. So when we're talking about Declaration of Rights and then you hear me say, question relating to something that we talked about, that's spirit. That's not, you know what I mean, the individuals. That's spirit. Just to verify the people that it's real. Whatever they want to do with it, that's up to them. But spirit's letting you know that this is real. So we already talked about it. We put it on the record again, just because right now there's a question. I'd like to discuss the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. Discuss the benefits, the declaration that is said to be a non-legal binding declaration, international law, and all this stuff. We're going to go look up Dwayne Champagne. Colonism lives in the UN Rights Declaration. And this is where we start realizing that everybody done sold out, and the only sole foundation that we have for the redemption of the people is the Moorish Divine National Movement, and that's it. Ain't nothing else coming to help. Ain't nothing else gonna work unless you have some conviction in what Drew Ali brought. If you don't have conviction in what Drew Ali brought, it's okay, no problem. You just keep suffering, that's all. Nothing personal, but, you know, talking about the prophet. We don't want to look at him as a prophet because, you know, there's all the worshiping the man, the dead man, and all that stuff. Yeah, you know. I mean, Moors know we don't worship. Nobody. I self allow a master, arm, leg, arm, head. There ain't no worshiping nothing around here. Um, okay, this one's interesting one, right? Um, this one's the interesting one. Questions from the heart of an Albion woman, right? So, well, everybody's realizing something's wrong, right? And the only way, just like the Dark Ages, the only way you're gonna get out of this is through the Moors. It's not, you know, anything against anybody else's stuff and what they want to be and all that. If you want to be stateless, go right ahead. If you want to be something that you can show identification to prove that you're that, go right ahead. As far as conscious people are concerned. But for somebody who, you know, is diverse, Moorish, you know, nationality, to address themselves as Albion, right, means that they study. More than somebody says that they're African or Kemetic or whatever. Put that on the record, just so that people can not feel, you know, outcasts, you know, because of, you know, their history, whatever. Because, you know, the noble prophet, put him on the record again, because, you know, he likes to get his props. Since nobody nobody gives him a shot. Everybody jacking birthright and then, you know, play around like they don't know who he is. So, you know, put the prophet out there again. Noble Drawley told the Moors, right, to let the people know that he had a writing called Divine Warning by the Prophet for the Nations. And nations includes everybody in the world. Everybody in the world. Right? Nations he came for. Why? Because he's the last prophet. So everybody who said that they got a prophet, you know, 2,000 years ago, that they love and they admire so much, 4,000 years ago, 300 years ago, there was an individual that was sent by the universal forces, whatever you want to call it. I don't care personally, but I know that the universal forces sent this individual. And the universal forces sent this individual to everybody so we can get right again and put this thing back in motion in the right direction. Okay? So, you know, this Albion sends this email. Um, I want to make it clear that I am not seeking guidance or studying to find ways to benefit myself. When the shit eventually does hit the fan and the Moors take back all that is rightfully theirs. Again, this is live, okay? I ain't read this yet. Again, for some reason, I feel that I am learning all this through the eyes of a Moor and not an Albion. I have had I have had Europeans look at me with confusion and disgust when I talk about the Moors and ask me why am I okay with it? And when I respond by saying, because it's truth regardless whether or not it will benefit me, they get it less than the facts that I am actually giving them. I am genuinely saddened and disgusted with what I have learned, but at the same time extremely grateful because, as I mentioned to you, from the time I was very young, I was plagued with questions about the treatment of so-called blacks, who I saw as superior physically, spiritually, intellectually, and was always more comfortable in the presence of my melanated friends than I was with Europeans. At the very least, I can go to my grave knowing the truth, but I would like much more. As far as questions go, I would like to know, how can I help? First thing that you could do to help is you could keep that conviction that you got for the fact that you know who the Moors are, right? And support by letting people know that this is the jurisdiction of the Moors and they need to stop playing around. Especially people who look at Moors like weirdos, you know what I mean? And, they look like, Moors, but they don't want to call themselves Moors. They want to call themselves every other thing in the book, right? So hit those people up because they listen to you because, they think that you're God and, you have a cloud of glory and all this type of stuff, right? They think that you're beautiful that day because, they're going to go perm their hair to go look like, Albion, right? So, you know, they'll take the truth from you. It might not be, because remember, the Europeans getting mad because, the story of the harem and, all the stuff that, you mentioned that is disgusting about the Moors. Yes, we did some messed up stuff. But, once again, you know, the individual that came, right, by the name of Noble Juali, and he came in order to get the Moors to do things by the divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So, you know, we're not those Moors that, did the disgusting stuff. We're the new Moors that are coming with a new mind, right? And the best thing that you can do as a European is use your influence that you think that you don't have on Negro, black, colored people to get them to know that they have a prophet and that they should stand up for their Moorish nationality and support the people who call themselves Moors that they don't think is relative to them. That's one thing that I think you can do, right, to help, right? Um, and also too, to kind of make it easy, you can just, all the names that you're hearing that we mentioned, you know what I mean, all the websites, take those and give those to Negro, black, colored people, you know what I mean, so they can, look at some other stuff other than the World Star and whatever other crap that they want to listen to and watch. um, so that's also relative to the second part of the question, that that studying is the key, but you need to do something more active. All right, well, because you really can't do too much, really and truly. Like, I mean, I can tell you break bank, what I mean, but you don't want to just give Moors fiat because, Moors have Negro mentalities too. And they're just going to go waste that on something, not do nothing for the nation. So I wouldn't say just, financially help. Help with the consciousness of the people before financial, right? Because I got fiat anyways, so there ain't really no helping that we're getting financially, right? Um, I talk to whoever I can about what I've learned and have had many people turn against me, both Moor and European. I work with children and I use my time with them as much as I can to plant seeds as much as I can. Little things like teach the more children that attend about the beauty and strength and power of their hair. Stuff like that. Yeah, right? When I see them looking enviously at their Albion friends, or worse, when I see a more child of an Albion mother who talks about how difficult her child's hair is to deal with, little things like that. Out of pure respect, I wonder about things like declaring my status as a subject under the Moors, right? Again, she studies, obviously, because to have that concept in your mind as a European that I'm not going to declare myself a Moorish American, right? I'm going to declare myself as a subject under the Moors, right? Is where you're supposed to be at. And all Europeans, that's supposed to be their perspective. That, yeah, we're Moorish subjects. And the Moors right now, who are the supreme jurisdiction, especially as far as North America is concerned, and the Caribbean islands, or whatever they want to call it, is the Moorish Americans, who have this man by the name of Noble Drew Ali that they call a prophet. And, I read some of his stuff, and stuff's tight. You know what I mean? So that's the jurisdiction I'm claiming because, U.S, I understand that that's a private corporation, you know what I mean? Even though it's European and I'm European, they're not really working in my best interests, you know what I'm saying? Because, they got you as straw too, 14th Amendment slave, you know. Everybody's in the jurisdiction now, right? Yes, the European is now the nigger that the European used to say, oh, the nigger, we don't want to be with them. Well, you're it now. And where you're at about being subject under the Moors, that's better than being 14th Amendment. Because look what we're getting. After they wipe us up, next person is poor Europeans. That's King Alfred plan too. If you want to go to rvbaypublications.com, and you might want to get this since you're European, so you can see what they have coming for you too. You know, you're thinking that oh, yeah, white privilege and all that stuff. That's down the drain. You know what I mean? Right? The fact that you're talking about your melanated friends, obviously, you grew up, you know, you grew up in the hood or whatever. You grew up around, you know, Moors, right? Like hip hop and all that. So reggae music, more than Bob Marley. You know what I mean? Your favorite reggae song isn't Red Red Wine. Right? So honors to you for setting all this stuff, right? Continue to, like you said, studying. You already have nationality. You know that you're Albion. You know that you can trace yourself back. But when you trace yourself back, just know that all those coat of arms that you see with your last name that you have right now and it have Moors on it, so you're connected. You know what I mean? It's not like you're outcasted like that. Like, you're just like we're saying, re re-establishing that concept in our mind that we're not Negro, black, colored, we're Moors. You're re-establishing that concept in your mind that you're a subject of the Moors, not a subject of U.S democracy trying to pretend like they're your government. The Moors are your government. We're your officials, you know, right? And obviously you know that. And that thing about the hair is real. That's pretty heavy. I like that. I like that. That's something big that you can do. You know what I mean? Working with the children and letting them know. Because even the fact that you're doing that is in line with Noble Drew Ali. Because when Noble Drew Ali declared the Moors a nation, he brought children up and said, hey, put the flag on them, held up the Quran 101 and said, hey, you are a nation. So whatever you want to do with it now, it's on you because it's so plain. I got stuff to do. You know. So yeah, letting the children know is very real. Right? So again, um, Kamala L had a question about grant funds from the government in the proper status because, these declarations and whatever else, say that they have an obligation, you know. They have an obligation to assist the Aboriginal and Indigenous people in their um, subjugation, to get better. Let's look at other nations. How much other nations get grants, like how our perspective of grant is? When I see another nation get a grant, it's to build a museum or something like that. It's to build some temple or something. It's to, but then when, you know, our perspective of the grant makes us not be a grantor. And once you're not the grantor, then you're subordinate. And if you're subordinate, then obviously, your free national name playing around because those guys aren't a government that you should even be going to get no grant. They've been dissolved since 1933 and they're bankrupt and insolvent. So they don't have any grant to give, you know. But if you don't claim your estate, then they'll use the estate to create some fictitious whatever and say, oh yeah, here's the grant money, for the whatever, make sure you do whatever, blah, blah. Right? So where we have to go, instead of um, getting grants and whatever, let's take our um, capacity of spending that we have and just put it to our stuff. If you need whatever you need, you should go into ours that are competent people. Because remember, as Asiatics, that includes all these people that we showed earlier, all these Moroccans that are dark skinned, that have a business or whatever, they're willing to work with Moors. There's Moors who they get fezzes from China. They get fezzes from Indonesia. They get fezzes from and it's the same ones that Lauderer got, and Masons got, and whoever else that says that they this fella's selling fezzes or whatever. You know what I mean? There's Moors that um, have products, right? That they, in order for you to have this product, they put their time and energy and whatever into it in order for it to come out as something. Support that, especially if you know that they're, you know, credible. Because for us to say, you know, um, um, go to them for grants, right? When Noble Drew Ali since 1913 told the Moors that they should have an emergency fund, and then the emergency fund is there. Everybody puts their whatever in the emergency fund, so that if something comes up or you need whatever, then you got the emergency fund. But nah, they didn't do that. Buried that, or stole that, or raided that finance or whatever, made their fictitious whatever, built mausoleums for themselves with people's dues money. Right? And want to know why stuff is how it is, and you know, real simple. Proclaim your Moorish nationality because that's who you are. Can't do nothing about that, right? And being that we were born in this occupation, there's no overnight. Nobody is a doctor overnight. Nobody is a holistic whatever overnight. Nobody is a metaphysician overnight, right? It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some putting some stuff down that we're doing, wasting time, and put some time to learning how to live within contracts. Because the way that they're killing us is contracts. And everybody could answer their question that they have if they just take this a little more serious. Because we're under occupation. Until we wake up these Negro black colored people, we'll be under occupation. Why? Because the Negro black colored people are who they're extorting to fund fighting Moors that are standing up for birthrights. The people who call themselves in the conscious community that have licenses and pay taxes and go vote and all that type of stuff, those people are who they're extorting. The so-called democracy is extorting those people through tickets, taxes, whatever other fees, feudal, whatever, right? To fund making it hard for more. Well, nothing personal, nothing to mad at. I mean, just recognize that everybody, whether it's this life or a life before, you did some stuff and you're going to pay for some stuff. You're going to pay for some stuff. I already know, you know what I mean? I pay for some stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever comes, bring it because I know, you know what I mean? Everybody got to pay for something. Some people more than others. You know what I mean? It's nothing personal. It's just, now that we set the clock back to the right time, you know, we're going to be wobbly. We're going to fall over sometimes, scrape knees and stuff like that, because we don't have this really yet how we're supposed to have it if we say that we're more. If we say I self law and master, that's real. If we say arm, leg, arm, head, that's a real concept, right? It's something that will manifest. But if you're not ready for the manifestation, then it's going to be in reverse on you, which is what causes people to be in problems when they get on this and then they start exercising stuff that you shouldn't really be exercising if you don't know what you're doing. Because more so because it lets them know that you're not ready. Which, windows open on the ground floor. See, somebody not passing by is going to say, hey, that window's open. Papers piled up at the front of the door. They're probably on vacation or something. Windows open. You think nobody's not going up in there? Right? You really think that? Somebody's going up in there. I mean, what they didn't count on was Home Alone. That a little more didn't go on the vacation because he missed the plane. And they're trying to go up in the stuff, and a little more has this on a lot. These guys aren't getting anything up in here because nationality and birthrights up. And he knew about nationality and birthrights. That's why they trusted that, he's alright. Leave him home. He just take care of everything. Little Kirikou, right? Because it's that time right now. Can't play around anymore. No more playing around. It's time now. It's time now. No more all this playing conscious stuff. You know what I mean? If you're not cognizant and competent, just shut the hell up. If you don't have a ID to prove who you claim that you are as far as your ancient forefathers or whatever, show me something. Show me something to prove that that's who you are. Don't tell me it's in the ethers and your God has it. Show me something. If you can't show something, just like we said, If you're not a national, keep your mouth out of national stuff. If you're not a national and you hear stuff about national stuff, the only thing you should be doing is asking questions about how to be national. Don't give opinion, because stateless people can't talk. You know, like, like, you know, when somebody conscious, you know what I mean, competent, they know themselves, whatever, but they get in a situation, they got a lawyer. You got a lawyer. Or you hire a guy who works for the court to work for you to try to help you get off something. You're not, obviously, you're not conscious. Obviously, you don't know yourself. And it's real serious right now. It's a repetitive theme. You better know how to live within contracts. Because that is how they're doing it to our people. In order for them to do it to us, Moors, who are active or super active, that get caught up in madness. And then they have a way to, you know what I mean, to force you to be in an uncompromising position. When they're the ones that's supposed, they're the ones that are the fraud. How come they're the fraud, but they're comfortable? And I'm de jour, and I'm feeling compromised and, you know what I mean, up against a wall, always under pressure or whatever. More than likely because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Because I want to try stuff. Or I figure it's the overnight thing. Oh yeah, found about proclaim my nationality today. And tomorrow you're gonna go proclaim something to your job. Oh yeah, well, I'm a Moor or whatever. Change my stuff. People will say you're crazy. 7:30, get that guy out of here. Somebody call police on this guy, please. You know? And then they go in and they blame the info. They don't blame their self for. Chill. Just found out about this. You want plates and all that stuff. What's Noble Jolly's birthday? You don't know Noble Jolly's birthday? You want plates? Please. Hold back on the plates for a little bit. Give him his props again. You know what I mean? Study him. Study what he brought. So you can be clear as to what you have that you didn't know that you have, that he told you about since 1913. And it's not idol worship, worshiping the dead man, you know what I mean? You know, we're, you know, putting him up here because, you know, we're the follower, grovelers of Noble Drew Ali or whatever. That's not what this is. This is another great individual that was an Asiatic during a time when everybody assumed we were Negro, black, colored people, slaves in America. And he shifted the whole paradigm. He shifted the whole paradigm. And people who we call conscious community leaders didn't go or follow suit. They decided to do their own stuff. And now we're complaining about how come this is happening. Right? All these guys sold out. You know, some of them came around. At least put a picture up. Let people know. Whether they research or not, that's up to them. But hey, can't say that they didn't show you. Can't say they never told you, no matter what they do after that. They can't say that, you know, we let the NOI members know we had the picture on the Savior's Day. Savior's Day is the biggest stuff. At their biggest stuff, they had Noble Drew Ali there. first time in years, actually put him there and talk about him openly. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? He's the first person to bring Islam to America. But nobody, you guys not gonna go follow him? He's the first individual to bring Islam in America, according to Farrakhan, that all these people follow. But they're not gonna. Okay. So whoever's game, Moors are here. We're back. You want to proclaim your nationality? Go study. You need some references? Talk to a Moor. Don't talk to anybody else. You know what I mean? And you could leave those slave ships called conscious community groups if you want, or you could, stay with them for the fellowship just because, you might be able to influence one or two more people, whatever. But you got nationality and birthrights and you're in one of them groups or whatever, make sure you get down with the Moors. You know what I mean? Islam to nation of gods and earths who say Islam, not just peace, God, and all that stuff. Islam to all the Rastafarians that say Islam. Islam to all the black power Moors. Islam to the Nuwapian Moors, the Hebrew Israelite Moors, the Moors who, um, like like Claude Anderson, who know that they're black, but we have some indigenous color, culture or whatever like that. You know about feathers and stuff like that. We know about Islam to all you Moors because it's about time that we do that unity thing. Everybody's talking about that. We don't have, right? Because we know that there's Moors in all those groups that got their fez, that got their nationality card, that got paperwork, that got law dictionaries at their house, Moroccan flag at their house. We know that there's Moors in all these so-called black conscious groups. Active Moors, conscious, competent Moors, cognizant Moors, right? So honors to all the Moors online. It goes right now. Tuesdays up in the air every week. But Wednesday or Thursday, we're definitely going to do something. Don't forget, third Thursday, Sons of Allah, on Moorish Heritage and History School. Um, Eyes Wide Open, Blog Talk. Don't forget, Iron Sheet 5, the album, it's out there, willofalah.com. If you're into hip-hop and whatever, cool. But we're on the Moorish side, so don't get this caught up with God Hop or whatever else, all those Moors over there. The Moors in the God Hop movement, Islam to y'all, can't forget about y'all, because you rep it as Moors, Bays and all that stuff. While black guys are going to be on the God, yeah, we're gods. What's your nationality? No, we're gods, we're in the God Hop. You have no nationality though? Well, yeah, but founder of that has nationality. Well, you guys don't like to follow the founders stuff, making up stuff all the time. Islam to all the Moors online, can't forget y'all. Because without you, there would be no Canaanland. 16 viewers in the chat. Islam to you, Moors. And continue to send your questions, continue to study, continue to recognize this great man that, we hold in the highest regard, give, 9,999 gun salute, to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for everything that he did for us so that we can reclaim this vast estate that we have. And also, can't forget, Islam to all the master teachers, Islam to all the master teachers who's come and gone and are still here that, might glimpse Canaanland once in a while, see if Pluto's behaving himself. Islam to all y'all. Peace, love, and hotep. We'll just close out with the prayer quick fast. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through His holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Islam. Peace, love, and Hotep Moors. We shall connect. Islam, Islam, Islam.